We got that cheap rug under you, so it's fine if you drop your phone. But yeah, I pack everything in there because, just in case you need a little bit of hydration,
Yeah.
in case you need a little bit of, color in your life. You have a little orange juice there.
Yeah.
I don't have either parent talk like that. I don't know why I'm talking like that.
A little Propel. There's a Propel in there.
Oh, I thought Propel got discontinued, and then a couple years ago, pretty recently, I saw it again, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh, I got the stock. I was kidding. It's got people,
I used to love Propel. I would drink that after my soccer practices.
Oh, yeah. That was the biggest thing in the 5th grade for me.
It's like people who have like Surge soda, and you're like, why? What is wrong with you? How long has that been sitting there?
That's just for the novelty of it.
Right, yeah. That's a display soda at this point.
Display soda. Oh my god.
POUR Taproom. Don't get this confused with the former POUR that used to be in Greenville as well. It used to be a nightclub. I don't know if you remember those days.
With bottle service.
Yes.
Oh.
It used to be where the Comedy Zone is now. That is Kilpatrick's Pub downstairs. Used to be a also additional bar called POUR, and it had a nightclub vibe. This shows my age. About 5 years ago when it existed, mutual friend Joe Johnson and I hanging out, drinking, single guys, and I said, why don't we try this new place? We literally walked in and looped around one lap around the area, dance floor and all, and I couldn't hear anything. And I literally looked at Joe and just pantomimed to my ear, and then we walked out within a minute. Mm-hmm. And that made me at that point go, oh, I should not do this kind of thing anymore. But that place is closed.
Yeah.
But that being said, we are doing a place that is open, POUR Taproom. Probably the coolest franchise beer place downtown we've had come in a long time. I know there's another rival now, which we'll probably do another point in time when their reviews come out more and their place goes on. But POUR Taproom was the first one that had one of these things where you get a wristband, you show your ID, and you drink at your heart's content, and every little measurement goes towards your record, and then you pay for it at the end of the meal. You can also get food next door from Gringo's Tacos right there as well. It's a cool little combination there. Big open space area. Horrible if you want to do any kind of comedy, but great place if you want to drink, have a good time, play some arcades as well.
Yeah, that's
they
right.
have vintagey arcade games.
I think
in the
they
back.
have the Terminator 2 arcade pinball machine, maybe.
Deep cut, man. It's deep cut. And they also are, unlike the other places we reviewed so far, they are dog friendly. Because I've seen some dogs in there. You guys just talking about a big ass dog
I
you saw in there.
Literally the biggest dog I've ever seen. I think it was a Malamute, and it was just, it looked like you could, you see some dogs and you're like, oh, a little kid could ride that like a horse. It's a big dog. And it's like, no, I could have ridden this dog like a horse. It was like Shetland pony size.
Yeah, I could have won the Preakness with this baby.
Yeah.
And it's a fun venue. I think pre-COVID they would do trivia night with DJ Trivia.
Oh, yeah,
That's
we went one
right.
time.
Yeah, that's a fun night.
Yeah, and they do dinners, and then a lot of TVs as well. So if you want to go there for good, just watch a college game, stuff like that, or the finals, whatever. I mean, it's totally a good place to go. I so highly recommend it. These folks, however, don't, as we read the reviews. If you haven't listened to one-star reviews before, we like to take the bad press, turn it into good press, and that's why going into it now, I just forgot to introduce myself. My name is Adrian. I'm your host of the One-Star Reviews. The voices you hear with me today are the Clancy tribe, a small tribe in Greenville, but the tribe of two, Manus and Lindsay Clancy. They are the hosts and creators of Segments Podcast. Listen to their podcast also wherever you listen to this podcast. Subscribe and like them as well on Apple, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all the rest there. It's a great, wonderful comedy podcast that is so unique on every bound and that I don't know how you stalk people enough to get the research you do. but Manus, you do. You're like the cookies of podcasts. You just soak in everyone's information and then you use it later. Like, are you sure you want to use this?
Are you sure you agree to friendship? You agree to this hangout time?
I'm going to use all the information I've gathered on you against you on my podcast.
It's now been named Blackmail, the podcast. This person does not like POUR Taproom, however. This is from 2 months ago. This place looks as exciting as watching wallpaper dry.
The fact that he said looks as exciting makes me think he didn't even bother to go.
I exactly agree.
But also, I feel like that's the kind of review that says you have boring friends. Like, there are some places I go because I like the vibe and it provides something. But I'm not going to go with people I don't like because it doesn't really matter where I I mean, it sounds so hokey, but like it doesn't really matter where I hang out as long as my friends are with me. But like I mean that, you know, like if you go somewhere, you can make it fun. There's beer, there's tacos, there's chips and queso, like there's TVs.
Yeah.
Those are all the components that I need in order to like have a good afternoon.
Yeah, POUR is a great spot to go to like have convos with friends and stuff like this.
Sure.
It probably is not great to go to alone, but even then you can still have a plenty good time.
I mean, it's not a bar.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say it's a bar.
Right.
No.
It's a
It's
tap
a tap
room.
room. It's
It's
like a brewery.
Yeah.
You just literally just kind of you should be your own party basically. Don't expect to sit at a bar and like talk to people that you don't know, right? So.
Yeah. This guy here says workers are extremely rude and the beer are way overpriced. A lot of A's in that way. Come at own risk. They do allow dogs, but is it worth $16 a beer? Now, the only way it would ever be $16 a beer is if you exclusively drank, you know, your entire, you know, cupful of the most expensive beer.
Yeah.
You're responsible for the ounces that go in your cup. You have a wristband that you have to hold up to a sensor for each beer, and then it dispenses it. You can stop it at any time.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to pay $16 for a beer, you can do that.
Yes. Yeah. It's very easy to avoid that dangerous outcome.
And for some reason, if there was a miscalculation, they will fix it. Like, they're pretty reasonable with that. I've never had a problem with them at all. The management
they're great. Yeah, they have a great staff. You know, for a place that, like, you know, this is a place that could get by on having, like, one or two surly people walking a counter, you know, in the corner, because that's all you really need to run a place like this. They are great. You know, the people are fun to talk to as you check out and stuff. The service is good, you know, when you do get it. I don't know what this guy's problem is.
All right, here's an interesting one, and also a very valid response, because some of them are just like, wow, we're so, you know, we hate to hear that was your experience. Please give us another shot. I feel like that's most business responses to reviews like this. But this one says, they only do credit cards and don't accept cash. I do not give credit card out to hold tab, but pay cash as I go. Just lost my business. And the owner responded and said, sorry for the miscommunication. Because we are a self-serve bar, we don't know how much you are going to drink or spend. We swipe a card to hold your tab and give the card back to you. That way, if someone leaves, we can charge them for what they have had. Anyone can pay cash when they close their tab. The card is just a placeholder, and you do not prepay. So it sounds like the dude leaving the review just fundamentally did not understand the concept of like what you do.
Right,
like, do you think you're going to they're going to measure, like, you're going to fill your beer that you're going to fill and then bring it over, and they're going to measure the amount of beer, and then you can pay cash for that? Like, in what universe is that a good business model?
It's not a car lot. It's like, I'm going to put a down payment.
And you can pay cash. At the end, if you're like, hey, I want to pay cash, they let you pay cash.
But it's a bar where they need to know that in case you stip them, they have your information just in case.
There's a side door that you can leave out of.
Sure.
That people definitely probably do.
Yeah. But that's just funny. It's just like, I have this much. What can I drink? So.
How about this person right here? I wasn't aware that you can bring your pets into a food and drink establishment that are not service dogs. The place smelled like a kennel, and they were running around loose. They were even jumping and laying on the sofas where people would like to sit. I have nothing against animals, but they don't belong there. My review stands. You will be out of business in 6 months or less.
Now,
oh my God.
Now, bear this in mind. Bear this in mind. That was written 3 years ago. And the response to the owner, also 3 years ago, hi, Scott. Fuck him. Bye, Scott. We are sorry that you were bothered by the dogs in our place. They should be on a leash at all times and not allowed to get on any of the furniture. However, they are legally allowed because we are a beer bar and not a licensed restaurant that prepares food. Our food comes from neighbors at Gringos. Please consider changing your review based on your product offering and customer service rather than the fact that we are dog friendly.
Yeah, like, is this person never experienced a dog friendly business before?
I think this person just hates dogs in general.
The fact that he said they don't belong there.
Yeah, that's
the line that really got me.
Yeah, I think that's like he does know the concept, but doesn't like that it exists.
Right.
He doesn't like that other people like it. All right, how about this one? This is from a year ago. 1 star. Closed down. End of review. Yeah, it was closed because, again, middle of the fucking pandemic.
I like this one here. Very overpriced, and the live entertainment was so loud, we only stayed for 10 minutes. Paid for half a glass of foam, won't go back. You poured your own glass.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Learn to pour a beer.
That is all on you, dog. I'm sorry to say. You just got to tilt it a little bit. Here we go. Walked up at 9 p.m., parentheses, last Sunday, and the doors are locked. So much for busting our butts to get here before you close. If you can't stay open according to your posted hours, parentheses, closing at 10 p.m., change them.
Who's trying to get lit on a Sunday at 9?
Yeah.
No judgment, but like that's kind of that feels
Yeah.
like not the right time to complain. Like
Yeah.
if you went on a Friday and it was closed at 9,
Yeah.
you'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" But Sunday at 9, man.
The kind of person who, like, hustles to get to a bar or restaurant, like,
At 9.
within, like, very shortly before it closes is the kind of person that makes my stomach turn,
Yeah. They probably closed because no one had been in for an hour. And they were like, it's time to go home because we're losing money by paying staff.
Yeah.
This person from 3 years ago is one of those people, we said in the last episode, there was the person that got like a couple flights of bourbon and didn't realize like bourbon was expensive. And it's like, I paid $50 for 2 things of beer, bourbon. This person's similar. Great way to spend a ton of money and not a ton on beer. Response from the owner. Hi, Carrie. I'm sorry we couldn't meet your needs. We do have from very rare to very high ABV beers and wines. We always have to have at least 5 beers at $3.50 a pint. So we hope you come back and find some other options in our 70 available taps. Take care. That's okay. 5 beers at $3.50 a pint. I can't name like maybe a handful of restaurants in downtown that you can get a pint for $3.50 that's not named PBR or Bud Light.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
they
a
don't
great
serve
deal.
any of those kinds of beers there, like PBR.
Sure.
Bud
I
Light.
think
Like,
they do serve PBR, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think they keep PBR on tap.
All right, well, that probably counts for the $3.50.
Yeah.
All right, here's one that honestly is like similar to the other $16 beer one.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I had it explained to me how to get the beer or wine, but no one ever told me when I filled my wine glass 2/3 of the way that I went over some ounces, so I paid over $16 for one glass of wine that I never finished. I'm never going there again. First and last time. I mean, you could have finished it.
I know.
Also, there are definitely $16 glasses of wine that are served in plenty of other restaurants in
Sure.
Greenville.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely.
Like, absolutely. Also, you didn't have
Yeah,
you didn't
I
have
know.
to fill it that high.
I know there are other $16 glasses of wine in other restaurants because I've refused to pay for them.
Also, yeah, exactly. Also, where do you get a glass of wine that's filled 2/3 of the way full, other than your own home?
Yeah.
And like that's what I do at home, but expecting to pay
Yeah.
$8 for a glass of wine that's fuller than any glass of wine you've ever received at a restaurant
Yeah.
is just like
I
not.
think at that point
that
you're an
ain't it.
alcoholic.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Why is this full glass of wine not $8?
I've got one here. Now, Andrew, you can rule on this as to the legality, the red tape and everything, because this is a 2-star review.
Oh, go for it.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
okay. I just want to give this guy credit for at least giving 2 stars. And I would like to rate the pun that he uses as a 1-star pun.
Oh.
Here we go. For that many taps, quote, poor selection. And he spells it P-O-U-R. He puts it in. He's really trying to drive home that that's a pun.
Yikes.
But then he goes, pretty cool how you could pour by the ounce, though. Very nice staff.
2 stars?
So he had a great time.
Yeah.
The staff was good. He liked the beer and he liked the concept. He just didn't like the whole selection, which changes
I was
regularly.
just gonna say that's another thing we haven't mentioned is the beer selection changes all the time.
Yeah.
Like I feel like every time I go, I get something different because they have a new seasonal something in from like a local South Carolina brewery,
Right.
which is cool. I like that. I like that you can get different stuff every time, but also just go in like a week. It's probably gonna be different beers.
This one's also a 2-star. This is from 4 years ago. Excellent selection. Money trap.
I mean, it's not their fault if you just like keep pouring yourself huge beers.
I mean, granted, I had like 5 beers, but whatever.
But also, they have an ounce limit that if you go over the ounce limit,
that's right.
Well,
Yeah,
they'll cut it
yeah.
off at your card, and then you have to go get it reapproved to make sure you're not like hammered and they're not over serving people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think it's like 32 ounces. I think once you hit that might be high. I don't know. I think
it's something like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah.
Or like
they're trying. They're like looking out for you. I think.
Yeah, because if you go up there and you're hammered and you clearly should not be drinking anymore, they won't refill your wristband.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm on Yelp now.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, yeah, this place is good, legitimately. We ran out of 1-star reviews. So I had to go to
I'm
Yelp to
looking on
find some here.
Facebook, and I'm really trying hard.
I'm
And,
checking their Friendster profile.
This one's good. This is from 3 years ago. I was so excited to go here on New Year's Eve, and they were closed. Closed without a sign on the door explaining. Closed without a notice on Facebook or their website because I checked. Because I was so excited. We went there. We went when their hours online said they were open, but they were closed. It was real. This person's
Okay.
really redundant and repetitive. The way that was.
The thing that usually happens also on
Yeah.
holidays, if
Yeah.
you Google somewhere, it says holiday might affect business hours.
Absolutely.
It says that for literally every holiday.
Yeah.
It's not their fault that you didn't call and see if they're open.
And sorry that they also want to spend time with their families on a holiday.
All right, I found a very intriguing one, and I wish I witnessed it.
Yeah.
We were there for a bar crawl, and I witnessed an employee confront a customer. It appeared he wanted to start a fight with the man. It is never wise to have a hot-headed employee in a bar. The whole issue stemmed from the customer using the wrong trash can. Poor customer service, in my opinion.
Oh my god.
No way was a bartender about to fight a customer over using the wrong trash can.
Insane.
That sounds like a creative writing exercise that I would give 1 star to.
Oh my god. This one's 2 years ago on Yelp. And like each sentence is spaced out. I'm not a drinker. The tacos were ordered from the restaurant next door. I asked for a lime. They said I had to go walk to the restaurant next door to get some. Lots of beer options. Neat concept. Pet friendly, parentheses, which was so awesome. Loud music. It's a no for me.
So like good concept, good food.
Yeah.
No lime, 1 star.
I like the closing sentence because it's like a very Simon Cowell, America's Got Talent. It's a no from me.
It's a no.
Yeah. Or Randy
Yeah.
Jackson, right?
They even
No,
brought
dog.
up
It's a no for me, dog.
they even brought up the dog friendly part being awesome.
Yeah, but not enough. It maybe got them 2 stars, but it wasn't enough.
Here's one. This is a holiday related one, and actually the second holiday related one I've seen recently. Perhaps it was because of the 4th of July festivities, but service was slow, bathrooms unclean, and beer selection poor. Again, another poor pun, by the way.
God.
No shit, it's like busy and, lit, crazy on 4th of July of all days, At a bar that serves exclusively beer, I feel like that's the number one time you're going to see 1, slowdown of service. 2, people are pissing on the floor. Happens in every bar I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you have people serving their own beer. You can put the wine in a beer stein if you want.
Yeah. No judgment.
Pro tip.
No, but like
Yeah,
you have
no
people-
judgment, and
but,
in
like,
fact, pro tip.
But people, in fact, pro tip that I have done. But also, if you are allowing people to do that, you're gonna have piss on the floor.
Sure. This one's from 3 years ago. Also a New Year's Eve one here. It is past 2 p.m. on Sunday. Your hour stated you were open from 2 to 10 p.m. While I understand it's New Year's Eve, I have traveled from California to your establishment as I was writing a book of the best local bars to visit in certain states while vacationing. This is not good for business when you are not open, even though you say you posted your hours. I do not want to resort to making returns to redneck bars where the best-looking woman is a toothless doppelganger of Eileen Warnos.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
I will be back in 2 hours. Like, is that a threat? Is that a threat?
Yo,
Calling Pour a redneck bar is insane to me.
But
What rednecks are like, I'm not gonna drink Bud. I'm not gonna drink my Natty Light. I'm gonna drink some expensive hipster beer.
I will say though, Toothless Doppelganger of Eileen Warnos is a Hall of Fame roast. That is fucking insane.
It is.
Oh my
it is.
God.
But like we said, it's not a place that you go pick up. Like that's where you go with friends. You don't. There's
Yes.
no bar to like loiter at to hope you'll meet someone.
I've got a really good one here. Parentheses translated by Google. The or to parentheses original low oh ah. 2-star review. And you know what? They responded. They responded and they said, sorry, you did not have a good experience. Can you please let us know what we can do better? We value our customers' feedback. Yo.
Oh my God.
This has to be like a robot or something, right? I love the genuine response though to this clearly like weird fake Google review.
Oh my God.
All right, this is from January 2020.
Okay.
There were about 6 customers in the place. I was the only woman. The music the employees chose to play was filthy and extremely derogatory towards women.
Oh boy.
I lasted through one song and about half the second one and then left. This place needs to fire these so-called men and hire some real ones.
Wow. All right.
The derogatory music then taking a hard left turn into this place needs real men is a really
real men
funny
don't
turn.
ever listen to music that's derogatory towards women, don't you know?
Yeah.
This final one here. This is kind of funny and actually kind of relevant to today's times, despite it actually being from 5 years ago.
Aw, throwback.
Drinks are good and has wide selection. Food is also great. Only thing I didn't appreciate was the fact that they passed wristband from one customer to the other without sanitizing them before giving it to another customer. When one goes to the restroom, would you think to take it off? Great way to pass E. coli. Response from the owner. Thank you for your visit. Please just ask if you ever have a concern. We would have told you that our bracelets were made of silicone and they were also water resistant, non-porous, and antibacterial. We also sanitize them every day.
Well,
I love a good owner response. It's like, here's every single one of your points refuted.
yeah. If you had just asked someone, you would have gotten your answer.
Yeah.
Also, I'm just assuming that person who made their review worried about the restroom just pisses all over their wrists.
Yeah.
Like they're just wild
They
streaming.
know
Yeah.
they're messy, and they're like, well, it's always people who are super messy or like super weird about a specific thing that
Yeah.
assumes everyone else does it.
Yeah, they're
as
projecting.
like a coping. Yeah.
He who smelt it dealt it.
I also, whenever I go, I always put my wristband on the cup. I like put it around the cup, because it's jangly on my wrist and it like pulls up my arm hairs, and I don't like that. So
One-star review.
No,
Pulls on my arm hair.
pulls up my arm hair. No, I never bring it into the bathroom because I don't
Okay.
bring my beer into the bathroom
Oh.
Right.
because I'll leave my cup like with you or something.
I liked it on my wrist because in my brain I'm like, oh, it's like a GPS tracker. Cool. All right. Well, now I can't be lost.
I never have to worry about peeing on my wristband because I leave it, wrapped around my wiener.
Unbuckle your jeans.
Yeah. I never have to piss that way. Yeah. I do have to hop up to scan it to pour myself a beer.
Oh my god, you gotta jump like 4 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, my vertical is really improved ever since I started drinking at Pour.
Yeah.
But the accuracy, my God.
Yeah, you gotta try a couple times.
Anyway, 1 star. I'm not welcome back.
Somebody
Lower the sensors, you cowards.
somebody looking at the beer taps like, what's
Yeah.
that smudge?
Yeah.
That's not a thumbprint.
Yeah, I've been campaigning for crotch height scanners for a while, and I say it's for the dogs, but that's a lie.
Check out POUR Taproom. It is off Falls Park Drive. It is literally just a few feet away from Falls Park in Greenville. So if you are visiting Greenville for the first time, it's a great way to kind of get some outdoor ambiance. And fun fact, this place used to be not only a place for mini putt-putt indoor, they also used to be like a mini train like museum in this building. I know Greenville used to be so weird back then, but we're glad we have POUR Taproom. It's a great place to have, again, just to go watch a game, hang out with some friends, take out some friends who've never been to your town before, and just take them around in the central part of downtown there. POUR Taproom. In the meantime, also listen to Segments Podcast with the Clancys here. Great comedy podcast where anything goes, and Manus will somehow get your personal information that you don't realize. It's a great podcast. Listen to anything you already listen to. Our voices on Apple, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, all the rest. Even Amazon Echo. If you tell your device to play certain podcasts, it will do that. Wonderful.
And hey, you know, Andrew, sorry to interrupt you, but I will say we also are on Instagram at SegmentsPod, and Lindsay makes some really incredible episode art for each one.
Nice.
It's sort of an accompanying piece, if you will, for each episode.
That's kind of like me with my podcast. I technically could do a blog off of Fireside, which is my server. I have yet to do that. So
that's
good
fine.
for you guys to go the extra mile there. Check them out. Segments Podcast and one-star reviews. Give us a like, subscribe, whatever you listen to, then it helps us out. But also make sure to play your podcast with your penis like Manus does. Dick smudge.